So, Tori, tell us what happened.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't have very much confidence in myself, and I'm obviously never thinking that I'd become a superhero.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about, and TV movies.
Yes.
I should have said that. We are your hosts, Jordan and Kumar, that's me.
And me.
And this week we are talking about Justice League of America, the TV movie from 1997. Have we done a TV movie?
We did. Drifting School.
Oh, Drifting School.
Yeah. Was a TV movie.
Oh, that wasn't direct-to-video, that was TV.
Oh, you know what?
Remember.
I think it might... Yeah, you know what? I don't remember. I think it might have been direct-to-video.
Okay.
So this might be the first TV movie
Well, this was we're breaking a rule. Because I did say, episode 1, we weren't going to be doing any TV movies.
Rules were made to be broken. It's not the first one we've broken.
I almost broke this rule like 18 months ago when Keith Giffen died in October of 2023. So this TV movie was based on the 1987 version of Justice League.
Yes.
So the original Justice League of America series, which had been running since the 60s, or even earlier maybe, got canceled following or around Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
That big crossover. And then
Yes.
there was another big crossover called Legends the year or two after Crisis, in which, as I recall, like Darkseid caused all these seeds of distrust around superheroes with the normal people on Earth.
Okay.
I might have some of that wrong. Please write in and correct us. So then there was a relaunch of Justice League. And this time it was called Justice League. Then it was called... Actually, Justice League of America had already split. There was like a Justice League Detroit as well. Like there were two teams. Maybe there was only one title, but there were two teams running around. One of them was Justice League Detroit. I think they were a bit playing catch up with Marvel, because Avengers had like West Coast Avengers as well. There were like two titles.
Got it.
Okay, so anyway, so there's a relaunch
Yes.
in 87. All of the heroes that you expect in a Justice League title are tied up. Your Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Wonder Woman, all those big heavy hitters, they're all tied up in editorial business.
Yes.
This character's got to be over here doing this thing. This character's over here doing this. So we can't have them in this title.
They've all got their own plot lines.
That's right.
Agendas.
Yes.
Books.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
you've got to do something with the leftovers.
They don't even leftovers. They got to. I guess I'm not sure. They were launching a title. Let's relaunch Justice League. Let's get all those heroes back. No, we can't have those heroes. They're all tied up. So we've got all these third tier.
Yeah.
Nobodies.
So, like, stop us when we get to someone you know.
Yeah.
Right? Dr. Light, Blue Beetle, Oberon, Mr. Miracle,
Yeah.
Black Canary, Dr. Fate.
Yep.
Someone might know him from the Black Adam movie. Martian Manhunter, Captain Marvel. He's had a movie too. Guy Gardner. He's very topical. And last of all, somehow, Batman.
Batman.
So Batman did squeak in.
There is in one of the introductions of one of the volumes, they talked about how they DC had mercy on them and let them have Batman. But
Yes.
he leaves by the 5th issue. The roster is constantly moving around. It's very fluid.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Fate is in there.
But he's not even on the team. He just rocks up.
He runs off after an issue or two. He's like, I'm out of here. He has some mystical journey he has to go on to sort out, and he's out of there.
Yes, I read that introduction too, and it's quite funny.
Yeah, and...
Because in it, Keith Giffen just sort of says, I don't understand what happened.
yes.
He says, you know, Justice League is kind of like prestige line for DC.
Yeah.
And he said his thing was mostly tongue-in-cheek.
That's right. He was famous for Ambush Bug, which was a self-aware, like, fourth wall breaking comic book character that knew he was in a comic book. So Keith Giffen was the comedy guy at DC.
Yep.
DeMatteis was the other writer on this. And the artist was Kevin Maguire, who had never drawn a full-length comic before this. This was his first like professional full-length work. And he really became one of the most amazing artists in the biz because he could draw faces. And nobody else could.
if all the editions of Justice League International I've seen have had faces all over them.
Yes.
Because he draws these amazing faces.
Yes, it's the expressions.
Please put a face in the episode art.
Yeah.
It's just these wild facial expressions. So, DeMatteis was, did he do Moonshadow?
I believe so, yeah.
Right, so Moonshadow was one of the books that John Burgeon mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
So he's doing high art,
yeah,
the really...
high fantasy, not high fantasy, but like fantasy stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the deeply serious kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then you have Giffen with the tongue-in-cheek shtick, and then you have an artist who's not done a major book before.
Yeah.
He says this is the most bizarre combination to be shepherding
yes.
a kind of like a premium line within DC Comics.
Yeah.
And yet, I mean, it absolutely works. Spoilers, because it's really great.
Yeah, I think they approached it as a sitcom, basically.
Yeah.
And the superheroics are...
that's an element of it, for sure.
Yeah, are kind of... they're there, and there's like plot lines that build up over issues, but it almost doesn't matter how they play out, and it almost doesn't matter which heroes are on the team. I mean, it does affect there's certain dynamics. So, for example, Black Canary, who she used to be associated with, she was like the partner of Green Arrow. It used to be Black Canary and Green Arrow. And she's got like this sonic cry. What difference does it make?
She never uses in any of the episodes I've read.
Well, maybe uses like once or twice to knock some dude over. She clashes with Guy Gardner all the time. So we've got Guy Gardner, who's our one Green Lantern. We don't have...
People that have seen the new Superman movie will know Guy Gardner.
That's why we're...
Knowing about Guy Gardner used to be a kind of mark of how serious you were into comics.
Yes.
But now everybody knows who Guy Gardner is.
Yes, that's kind of why we're covering it this week. I'm trying to get these Superman episodes in. We're doing Super Pets and this one. So he's really arrogant, chauvinist... hothead. He worships Rambo and Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
He's got this ridiculous bowl cut.
Yes.
He looks ridiculous. He thinks he's God's gift to women.
Yep.
So he's constantly clashing with...
And he thinks he should run the Justice League.
That's right.
In fact, our introductory issue literally starts with like almost a full page splash of him with his feet up on the desk in the Hall of Justice, waiting for the other heroes to show up and sort of rehearsing how he's going to tell them he's in charge.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Batman shows up and just takes charge effortlessly.
Yeah.
He and Batman are clashing constantly as well.
Yes, that's right. Mostly over
Amazingly.
leadership and Batman making decisions. In the case of their clashes, we've got Captain Marvel, who is very naive. He's got the mind of a child because he is a child in his superhero body.
Yes, he's sort of 14 or 15 or something.
Yeah, even less maybe. I think in the early versions he's like 10 or something. We've got Dr. Fate, who is a cult mystic. Again, he just disappears. Dr. Light was a new character at the time who has light-based powers. We've already got Green Lantern on the team. She's out of there in no time.
Right.
Once they they get a mandate from the UN, so they become Justice League International, and some people are like, well, I'm out of here. Batman's like, I can't, I'm not doing international.
Yep.
And I think maybe at that point, maybe Dr. Light, a couple of people leave at that stage. We've got the Martian Manhunter, who's been in Justice League since the beginning. So he's a Martian who can shapeshift. So he can make himself look like other people, things, and his weakness
he's a telepath, and he's almost as strong as... He's got the flying brick power set, and he's quite powerful, I think.
Yes. His weakness is fire, though.
But
fire will kill a Martian.
Yeah. So he's in trouble there.
Yeah.
Because fire is not in scarce supply.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed that Green Lantern rings are still vulnerable to the colour yellow.
That's true,
at this point.
Yeah.
So if you want to defeat Guy Gardner, you just have to have yellow paint.
Yeah. There was a Green Lantern villain called Gold... I can't remember what his name was, but he just was like wearing this gold suit and just beat up Green Lantern all the time.
Amazing.
And Mr. Miracle, who is a Jack Kirby Fourth World character who is
It's so amazing that he's sort of here.
Yeah.
He's how to describe... He's an alien from Apocalypse, the Darkseid's planet.
Yes, or was it Genesis? There
was some sort of complicated thing.
Right.
Darkseid had swapped kids.
Yes, that's right.
With the Highfather.
Yeah.
And Mr. Miracle, who's called Scott Free.
Yes. Classic Jack Kirby name.
went to be fostered by Darkseid.
Right.
And the other guy, Darkseid's actual son went, I forget his name, the cranky one.
Oh, Orion?
Orion.
Yeah.
Orion fights for Earth.
Right.
Anyway, that was a tangent. So it's bizarre that he's here. He's an escape artist?
Yeah. Yeah, and Oberon, his manager, who's this kind of dwarf character, is trying to get him in movies, or he is in movies. I'm not sure
that's another thing
how many
about
movies
this
you can make about
everyone's really worried about their public image.
Yes.
Which must be a follow-on from that Darkseid thing you mentioned, the Legends crossover.
Yes.
Everyone's very worried about what people think of superheroes.
Yes, but there's also a thing about the media. The media are always clamoring outside the Hall of Justice, which is, I think, was not really... I don't think any other superhero comic... This might have been the first. It's been done a lot of times since, where there's media interest in what the superheroes are doing.
I hardly remark on it reading it because it's so common.
Yeah.
What does the media think? But you're right. Time, it's probably a new thing here.
I remember when this book came out and I saw the cover, I was like, why would I buy this? When I was a kid, I was like, there's no Superman, Flash, there's no Hal Jordan Green Lantern.
Right.
I was like, who are these characters? I didn't know who they were. Blue Beetle we didn't talk about too much. He's basically,
he's like Batman. He's a billionaire with gadgets.
Yes, he has gadgets.
Except he's the opposite because he dresses in like bright blue suit.
That's right. He is basically Batman.
He's more like Iron Man, isn't he, a little bit?
Yeah, but he was, DC he actually came from Charlton Comics. So DC had bought all these Charlton heroes, including Blue Beetle and Captain Atom, who later ends up joining the Justice League, who has all these atomic powers.
Yeah. He's from Charlton Comics as well.
Yes.
Captain Atom.
These were all the Charlton characters. Peacemaker, who we now have that John Cena TV show about.
Yeah.
They came, DC bought all these characters, and then Alan Moore, 1985, is saying, I want to do this comic with all the Charlton heroes where the comedian gets, or where Peacemaker gets killed.
Yeah.
And it's a big murder mystery.
Yeah.
And DC's like, actually, we got other plans for these characters. You're going to have to make up new characters. Then we end up with Watchmen, where...
They're all pastiches of...
That's right. So Blue Beetle becomes the Night Owl, and Captain Atom becomes Dr. Manhattan.
The question is Rorschach, is it?
Yes, that's right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's where all that comes from. But, I mean, nobody still... I don't think anybody really cares about the Charlton characters, except for in... Justice League International when we have Captain Atom or Blue Beetle had a movie a little while ago.
I think the question pops up. He's popped up in
that's right.
Some of the cartoons and things like that because he's quite a fun character because he's a conspiracy theorist.
That's right. The other kind of figure that we have behind the scenes is Maxwell Lord, who is this millionaire who is manipulating the Justice League. I think
there's something suspicious going on involving a computer.
Yeah, later on, he's discovered like Metron's some computer thing. His mind's been taken over.
Yeah,
he wasn't actually a bad guy. By the way, even Guy Gardner, he is arrogant due to brain damage. He was trapped in the Phantom Zone and came out somehow and got brain damage, and then he became this kind of jerk. That storyline's been forgotten completely.
He's just a jerk.
He's just a jerk now.
Wow, he had oh my goodness. So
they had to come up with a reason for it.
Oh my goodness.
He was a replacement for. He was actually. If you don't know the Green Lantern story, when the ship crashed on Earth, this alien Green Lantern crashed on Earth, and he was dying, and his super ring, his Green Lantern ring, went out looking for a replacement.
Yeah.
There were two options. There was Guy. Or there was Hal Jordan.
Or Guy.
But Hal
Jordan was slightly closer.
He was closer.
Yeah,
so he got chosen.
It's interesting that, because, Guy Gardner's thing is that he's, really impetuous and hot-tempered and so on. And yet the Green Rings run on willpower.
Yeah.
And he has poor impulse control. I don't associate that with...
That's right. So I think at the time he was just a normal guy, maybe a noble character.
But then he got brain damage. He can still use the ring.
That's right.
Had they really figured out what exactly the rings did or how they worked? No. Anyway, this has been a fun deep dive into comic book lore.
Yeah, okay, so eventually Black Canary leaves around issue 18 or whatever. But a little bit earlier, we were introduced to these two characters named Fire and Ice around issue 12. Now, what happens is they were working for a group called Global Guardians, which was a group, I believe it was introduced in the Super Friends cartoon. And that group shuts down and they're broke. So they're like, what are we going to do? At this stage, Justice League has gone international. So they have embassies in other countries.
Yes, the embassies.
And they just walk into this embassy and they're like, we're applying for a job. And then when Black Canary quits, they get hired onto the team later on. Now, Fire is she had different names. She was called Green Flame at one stage and Green Fury. Eventually settles on Fire. Her name is Bibi da Costa. She's like a model from Brazil. And Ice was actually her name is Tori Olaf's daughter. She's from some like obscure tribe that has like magic powers. That's where her... Oh, actually, where did Fire's powers come from? I don't remember. But anyway, Fire is a bit more... Like, she's like the sexy one, a bit hornier. Ice is like the more wholesome one. They're supposed
personality
to be...
powers.
Personality-wise, yes. And, but, I mean, Ice was also very revealing in the comics.
It's gotta be, right?
It's gotta be, exactly. Exactly. And they basically have these kind of... But the tone of the book is the thing.
Oh, yeah. So we should talk a bit more about the tone.
Yeah.
About the alchemy that was created from combining these three disparate influences.
Yeah.
It's very humorous, for one. A lot of interpersonal conflict and a lot of almost what we would call maybe slapstick.
Yes.
Or madcap style adventures.
Yes. And sarcasm. Also, like...
Sarcastic, like captions.
Yeah.
There's, at one point, like characters hum the theme to the Twilight Zone twice.
Yes.
In the volume I read.
Yes.
Someone tells Batman that he has white slits instead of eyes.
Yes.
Which is practically a fourth wall breaking comment.
Yeah.
And also, at one point, they go into space, and there's a caption that says, SFX provided by artistic license. Which made me chuckle.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of tone that we're dealing with here. So pretty unusual from the kind of earnest, I suppose, style of the past. And also, as was pointed out in the introduction to the volume, very different to what comics were becoming at this point in the late 80s, early 90s, which is we're entering the dark/dork age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about what
gritty.
Moore was doing with the Charlton character substitutes in Watchmen versus what's happening here.
Oh, yeah. And The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And then not what happens in the 90s with the, Guy Liefeld. Oh, sorry.
Rob Liefeld.
Farland, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is kind of an outlier, and it's really great.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah. Most notorious is issue 5, when Batman and Guy Gardner finally come to a head, and Guy takes off his ring. He's like, I'm going to get into fisticuffs with Batman, and Batman punches him once, knocks him out.
And there's an enormous Foley, sound effect that fills up most of the panel that says, bonk.
Yes. Bonk. And the next panel is like Blue Beetle reveling, saying one punch.
Because everyone hates Guy Gardner.
That's right. And Black Canary runs in and she's like, I can't believe I missed it. What happened?
She gets depressed for the rest of the issue.
Yeah.
Because she didn't see Batman punch Guy Gardner, who she hates. Guy Gardner doesn't wake up for 2 issues, incidentally. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Yeah. Is this the origin of the one punch thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's been done over and over since then. Batman's punching Green Lanterns, Green Lanterns are punching Batman.
Yes, but it is after Gaze into the Fist of Dread.
Ooh.
In which Judge Dredd punched one of the
We mentioned Gaze into the Fist of Dread.
Right through the head.
We mentioned it.
And it's a very similar layout of a right-to-left punch.
But, I mean, in DC, the one punch is coming up over and over.
This is it. It was notorious when this happened, and it still
keeps happening.
Yeah.
In fact, recently I believe Guy Gardner punched out Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, right.
In a clash which should never have occurred.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep, definitely. 100%.
But with the same thing,
Yeah.
How was he even... Anyway, let's not get into that.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's written really in a funny way. Everybody has funny looks on their faces because of the way Kevin Maguire is drawing them with these expressions.
The facial expressions are so good.
I don't know how he did it. Was he doing amateur comics or something before? I just don't understand
just so
how he just
rubbery.
just came out of nowhere. Okay, do we need to go into the comic anymore? Is there anything else we want to cover?
The stories will be ostensibly serious, and there's even a very kind of like serious one about the Grey Man.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Who's a kind of... He just sort of wears jeans.
Yeah.
And,
He
and
looks like Harlan Ellison
blazer.
for some reason.
He does look a bit like Harlan Ellison. I wonder if this... Except he's a bit taller than Harlan Ellison was.
Yeah.
But he's sort of been imprisoned on an island for 600 years, and he's been gathering dream stuff from the world of humans to provide to the Lords of Order, because he was a sorcerer in the Middle Ages, and he flew too high. He gazed on the Lords of Order, and they punished him by imprisoning him on this island. Anyway, there's all this stuff. He gets these special grey captions where this feels very DeMatteis. He's lamenting his grey existence, and all of his emotions are grey. Everything he sees is grey. It's all very laden prose. And then he starts sort of sucking the life out of everybody on Earth when he escapes. He starts turning cities into horrible biomechanical things. I don't know why.
Yeah. I guess it makes him grayer in some way.
Maybe. And but then at the end of the book, it turns out the Lords of Order thought they were rewarding him by putting him on that island and giving him that job. They were impressed that he'd made it to their level of existence and looked at them, and it's all very kind of serious stuff.
Yeah.
But interspersed through all of it is all this goofy shenanigans.
Yes.
Like, I mean, those of us who are accustomed to, I suppose, a comic book style of storytelling like the Marvel movies, where there are often moments of levity. But no, it's pumped up quite a bit. Like the Batman's white slits comment occurs in this story.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There's a character called the Creeper who shows up.
Yeah, Ditko creation, actually.
Really?
Much like Blue Beetle was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's odd. He seems to be a kind of shock jock. Tucker Carlson kind of character.
Yeah.
But then he gets dressed up in a green jumpsuit.
Yeah, I don't really know much about the Creeper. But it's like most people that show up in Justice League, in this version of Justice League, I'm like, who's this guy? What's their backstory? Don't really know.
So you've kind of... It all comes together in a great product. These different people who you think would be at odds, inexperience, seriousness, levity, they've got a kind of alchemy out of it, and it makes, it's not the first time we've discussed that kind of thing. It's like Peter David being given the Hulk comic in the early 80s, or Alan Moore being given Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
It's funny when you take risks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you get good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't ring the bell for that last Alan Moore comment. We've been talking about it all episode.
Okay, now let's talk about this TV movie.
Okay. So 10 years later?
10 years later, yeah. Well, the series it became Justice League Europe for a while, then Justice League America, not of America, but Justice League America for a while. But I think it finished around 96, and then this movie comes out in 97. You might ask, why is this based on this version rather than an earlier version? Why would we accuse it of being that? Well, obviously it's the Guy Gardner version. It's not the Hal Jordan version of Green Lantern. That's a giveaway for sure. And also, this is a sitcom.
Yes, I would say the tone of Justice League International was the inspiration here.
Yeah.
Which of the comics is funny? I want to make a funny show with superheroes in it.
Yeah, or maybe a producer read this comic and was like, what if it was
nothing about how this... I don't even know who...
It's a mystery. This used to be traded on tapes.
Yeah.
Now you can see it on Daily Motion. It's not even on YouTube, I don't think.
This is one of those things like where it was never aired. So it's different from the Drifting School. I don't think they aired it, right?
But there's on the Daily Motion version, there's a number 5 in the corner as if it aired on a Channel 5 somewhere, sometime.
I think maybe it did get releases, probably like in... Okay, citation needed, but I seem to remember reading, probably South America or something like that.
Okay, maybe that's the case, yeah. Yeah. Directed by Félix Enríquez Alcalá, this TV director. I looked at his credits.
I looked at his credits too. I've even written a paragraph about his credits.
Right.
Because he just really seems like an absolute workman-like director.
Yep.
He's done a bit of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, he did 2 episodes of Joss Whedon's Dollhouse.
Okay.
He did a Battlestar Galactica miniseries. He did a Battlestar Galactica TV movie, and he did 2 episodes of the main show, and he did 2 episodes of Blade, the series.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So if you name a show, he's probably done an episode of it.
Sarah Connor Chronicles was on there, I noticed.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I've got it here. You name a show, he's done an episode, but usually an episode.
Right.
I will name the TV shows where he's done an episode. Okay. Lois and Clark.
Okay.
The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Okay.
NYPD Blue. Sliders. House. Breaking Bad. Stargate Universe. The Tomorrow People. The Defenders, the new one.
Whoa.
Sarah Connor Chronicles. CSI Miami.
Wow.
For all of those shows, he did one single episode. So if you've got a slot, if you've got a slot in your lineup and you need someone, apparently, this guy is the guy you go for.
Yeah.
He has his only theatrical movie release, as far as I could tell, was Fire Down Below. Okay. Also in 1997, which is a Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah, that's the one where he plays a Native American, I think, in Alaska, fighting Michael Caine.
No, this one's in. It's like it's in Kentucky or Louisiana or something.
This is one where he sings the blues.
Yes, it is. It is. It made 24.5 million off a $60 million budget, and would have swept the Razzies if it weren't for the fact that The Postman came out the same year.
Okay. The writers on this are David Hoselton and Lorne Cameron. As far as I can tell, they are a writing team. They're almost always credited together. The other credit I noted on their list is Over the Hedge in 2006, which is on our list.
It is on our list, so they'll be back.
Yeah. Okay, so our team in this, do we want to go through the team first or just go through the episode first?
Yeah, let's go through the team, because it's really different to the actual Justice League International team.
We have Guy Gardner.
Yes, but is not Guy Gardner.
He's not at all like he's more
like Hal Jordan, really, or I saw maybe he's like Kyle Rayner, who's another.
Well, the Mask is like Kyle. Kyle was the guy that came after the initial 3 Green Lanterns of Earth when Hal went crazy and blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he was a replacement Green Lantern. He had this kind of like armor-like mask almost. But his personality is, he's got these women issues. By the way, he's a software salesman. We get all these people have weird secret identities, which we almost never see anything about their secret identities in the comic version. No. They're too busy.
Well, they don't really. Yeah, exactly. They're not about their secret identities at all. And most of them don't even have secret identities, or some of them anyway. Yeah. And he's like, he's self-doubting, and he's like, my life is complex. He's very the opposite of what you think Guy Gardner is like. Yeah. It's so strange that they gave him that they... Why not make him Hal? Yeah, exactly. Except that this comic was out. That's the reason I think this was the source that they read. Yes. That's exactly it. But even the writers of the comic were like, oh, what are we going to do with Guy? Especially the Green Lantern title. They were like, well, we can't let this be a one-note character. But that's how he works best, I think. Yeah, 100%. Don't know anything about the actor that plays him. Nope. We've got Ice. Don't know anything about her. Her name, I think I wrote down the actress's name somewhere, but don't know much about her. Fire. We got to talk about Fire. Yes, we do. Because it's Michelle Hurd. Michelle Hurd, who plays my least favorite Star Trek character ever. Yep. Fascinating. Yeah. She plays Raffi on Star Trek Picard. Yes. I hate that character. Yeah. So much. She's the alcoholic in the future where nobody is an alcoholic or a drug addict anymore. No. Very strange. Yeah, very annoying. But she was in season 2 of Daredevil playing this hard-ass district attorney. She was really good in that. Yeah, I think the actor's fine. She's a good actress, and she was also in Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yes, she's regular in that. She's apparently also been on The Walking Dead, one of the spin-offs of Walking Dead. And she was on an episode of Cosby Mysteries called Comic Book Murder. Oh my god. And where she was assaulted by Bill Cosby. No. She was, though. She was. Oh, she was? She definitely was. What? She was assaulted by Bill Cosby, yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. She's made statements about it.
She's in one scene of that episode. I watched it today.
Oh my god, you did?
I found it on YouTube. It was uploaded 3 weeks ago. Often we have this kismet on the show where it's like, does this thing exist? Oh yeah, it was uploaded last week to YouTube. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I watched it. It's interesting. It's about like the murder all hinges around companies and comics creators ripping each other off. It's all based on like Siegel and Schuster and Bob Kane stuff, people stealing credits, all that kind of stuff. Holy shit, I had no idea about that part of it, but okay, well there you go. And I think she's pretty high up in the Screen Actors Guild, like she's...
Yeah, she's the president or vice president of the Californian
You're right, okay.
Chapter. Mm.
Yeah, because I heard her out there when the strike was happening.
Yeah, so for the record, I would like to state that I have no problem with Michelle Hurd.
Oh, absolutely. She's real, and I think she's good in this.
She's good, actually.
For what she's given. The Atom is one of our other...
You saw what this actor, John Kassir...
Holy shit. This guy... Okay, I went on his Wikipedia. It's the most complex Wikipedia page I've ever seen. He's got 261 credits on IMDb, which means... Like, a TV series counts as one line on IMDb, I believe. So if you've been in 50 episodes or something... So this guy doesn't have a lot of live action credits, but number one... on there was voice of the Crypt Keeper.
He's the goddamn Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
He's the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Hello, kiddies!
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing, which means he's going to be back. He
did a voice in this where he makes a sound as if he's inhaled helium. And
that's just his voice.
I wondered if it was just his voice.
I think it's just his voice.
Yeah.
I think he's like an impressionist.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they don't do anything to his voice when he does Crypt Keeper, and it kind of sounded like the Crypt Keeper's voice.
Yeah.
When he did it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was amazing. So he's absolutely going to be back.
Yes.
Because we've obviously done, like Tomb of Horror and things like that already. But he's going to be back for Bordello of Blood, which I think is on the list.
I don't know if we're going to do this because they're not strictly based on EC Comics.
It's in a grey area.
It's in a grey area.
Much like this episode.
But he does play the Crypt Keeper in Casper.
He does, and that's 100% on the list.
That is on the list. We're going to do that. He's also in 2 Smurfs movies.
I didn't know that.
So he's going to hit 3.
I did not know that.
He's Kooky Smurf or Crazy Smurf or something. I
missed that completely.
Yeah. No, of course you missed them because you got trillion credits. By the way, he's got voice credits on the new video game Dune Awakening.
Wow.
So, let's give it a ring for that.
If you've got time for one more item of weird trivia.
Yeah.
He appeared in a horror film in 2022 called Hell Blazers.
Right.
Nothing to do with Constantine.
Okay.
But he appeared in it with Tony Todd and Billy Zane.
Whoa. That sounds like some B-movie glory.
Yeah.
So he did voices on TMNT, which 1 million people did, and some video games of Spider-Man and X-Men. I also want to point out he was in the Voyager episode Critical Care.
I missed that too.
Yeah. So
you did a deep dive.
There's no way with this guy. I spent so much time looking people up. Okay, The Flash is in this. I don't know who the actor is.
No.
But I do want to point out that Flash had his own TV show for 1 season in 1990, right after Batman came out. And we're going to come back to that a little bit. I just want to point it out right now. The other character, main jail leaguer here, is Martian Manhunter.
Played by David Ogden Stiers.
Yeah, from MASH.
He played Winchester, like Major Winchester.
Yeah.
Kind of like, in his time, a serious actor. Although
and then seemed to go to voice work mostly in later years and very little live action.
This feels like almost like a voice work role for him because quite often he's not on camera and it's plainly being ADR'd.
Yeah, right.
And when he is on camera, I think they probably banged it out in an afternoon because it took him a while because he's wearing green makeup as the Martian Man.
And with all the appliances on there, like all the prosthetics and everything.
Yeah, he's got a prosthetic head on, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
and they also have to shoot him creatively so that you can't see his big tummy.
Yes, but you do see it a lot of the time.
There's only so much camera angles can do.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He was in TNG.
Fascinating.
That's right.
He in an episode called Half a Life, which unfortunately has Luxana Troy in it, but is otherwise a pretty good episode.
Luxana.
Oh no. No, let's not get
No,
into
I'm
that.
definitely pro.
He plays Timison, the guy who is supposed to be euthanized at age 60.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did come back for a Justice League cartoon.
This is Stiers.
Yeah. Doing Solivar, the king of Gorilla City, I believe.
We're getting all that trivia out at the
Yep,
start because there's nothing except talking about the actors.
Yeah. And he was in a Batman video of some sort.
Right.
But it would have been weird coming back to Justice League to do a voice after being in this. So it would have been some trivia in the recording.
I'm sure he doesn't even register. I'm sure he's just a bloke that learns his lines. I'm sure he's very professional.
Yeah.
Doubt this was even a blip in a year of work.
Okay, I want to mention 3 of the co-stars before we get to our main villain. David Krumholtz plays a stalker who's stalking fire.
Yes. He's in Addams Family Values.
Yes, right.
And he's going to be in Supergirl this year.
Supergirl, yeah.
He's going to play Zor-El.
Right, yeah.
Supergirl's uncle.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I read an online review of this film where they uncharitably described David Krumholtz as, he's played by some guy you've seen in 700 sitcoms, usually playing the Weasley kid brother.
Huh. He's Goldstein in the Harold and Kumar movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. He's not a Weasley kid brother there. Yeah, that's where I recognized him from, actually.
Yeah. Guy Gardner's love interest is played by this woman named Elisa Donovan. I went down... What? Normally I wouldn't go down these rabbit holes.
It's just like drifting school again. We have to go down the rabbit hole.
I don't know why... Why am I clicking on this actress's name? I don't know why I did it.
Because there was no other material about
3
this online.
seasons on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I want to point that out.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah. Now, we have to talk about our main villain.
I want to talk about Miguel Ferrer.
Yeah. Miguel Ferrer is in this goddamn movie. Holy shit.
Morgan Ferrer, you know him. Incredibly recognizable character actor.
Yeah, absolutely. So you would know him from RoboCop, Life in the Big City.
Bob Morton in RoboCop.
Yep.
He was in both Star Trek 3 and Iron Man 3.
Fascinating.
Yes. Yes.
He has my favourite line in the whole Hot Shots franchise, in Hot Shots 2, where he stares straight into camera and says, "War, it's fantastic."
Yep. Twin Peaks had 10 episodes on Twin Peaks. Lots of people would know him from that. He played the voice of the Martian Manhunter in the New Frontier,
which is crazy.
Video.
His comic book voice credits are too many to list.
Yep.
Honestly.
Tales from the Crypt, he did some episodes of that. Men in Black cartoon.
Yep.
And we have to... Oh, yeah, and Young Justice, the Batman... but also, we have to mention that he is the son of Rosemary Clooney and Jose Ferrer.
Yeah.
Emperor of the known universe.
Yes.
Jose Ferrer.
That's right. That's right. You had to... That's right.
And therefore is also the cousin of George Clooney.
He's cousin of George Clooney.
Yeah.
He was friends with Peter Allen David.
Right.
Who named Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara after him.
Okay.
He played in a band...
Okay.
With Bill Mumy.
Whoa.
Steve Leialoha. And Max Allan Collins.
Whoa.
And the band was called Seduction of the Innocent.
What?
Incredible guy.
Yeah.
Sadly, he passed away in 2017 of throat cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I saw him, that he was in it, I was like, what?
It's just great.
And this is like, I think he's a jobber too. He's a journeyman. He just showed, I mean, this is after Twin Peaks. I mean, he could have been doing better stuff than this.
Yeah, him and Stiers just happen to be working.
Yeah.
Just professionals.
Yeah.
Professionals.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this.
That's all the fun stuff out the way. Now we're going to talk about this fucking movie.
Yeah. Okay, so we get Tori Olafsdottir now. Interestingly, this movie is done in partial documentary interviews.
It's very strange why they're doing it like this. It feels a bit like Modern Family, except what it actually is like reality TV. A specific kind of reality TV, or rather a specific reality TV property, the proto-reality television show, MTV's Real World.
Right.
That's very much what it feels like here.
So that was the inspiration for this.
That's what it feels like.
So Real World had these kind of interviews to camera.
And where they're all in a house together.
I see. Okay.
So not like Big Brother where it was all happening sort of
right
in live. Real World was shot with these sort of interspersed with these interviews to camera
Yeah.
that occurred later but were made to seem like they were occurring
Yes.
contemporaneously.
Yeah, which is what all the reality shows
They all do that, yes.
Because, like, I'm wondering why this, but this is actually much later.
Yes. But the real world kind of
Yeah.
pioneered that format.
Right, okay. So she's a meteorologist, and we know from the opening that she becomes a superhero. So this is all the interviews are after the fact.
Yeah.
And
Such a strange format.
yes, very strange. Based on the DC Comics characters, there's a credit we get. She is a meteorologist. She works at this place called the... it's named after the Miguel Ferrer character.
Eno.
Yeah, Meteorological Institute. I believe is what
and it's in some cool building somewhere in California, presumably. And, it's a bit vague what this institute does.
Yeah.
They don't really seem to forecast the weather. They seem to be just doing weather-related science.
It's very weird because there's a scene later in the movie after the weatherman... Well, I gotta talk about that a little bit. But once the villain is manipulating the weather, her boss comes up to her in one scene and says, what do you know about this? I'm concerned about this weatherman guy.
Yeah.
And she says, what makes you say that? I'm like, wait, you work for a meteorological institute. This should be your primary concern, is how this guy is manipulating the weather or even threatening to, or...
But it's really vague what they do.
Yeah.
Because at one point there's a big storm approaching and she's... they've got their weather radar and they're looking at it. And the way she carries on about it, she's acting like they need to stop the weather.
Yeah.
Like this is a crisis that she needs to address. It's like, no, you just forecast the weather.
Yeah.
You don't address the weather.
Yeah.
And they're talking about you need to go out on site to look into this. It's like, what is this? What the hell does this place do?
Yes.
Doesn't
Great
matter.
question. It's science fictional weather-related stuff.
Yeah.
And there's this fundraiser coming up.
This was clearly meant to be Dr. Eno's motivation.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I mean, Miguel Ferrer's character is the villain.
Yes, but they tried to deflect suspicion onto a co-worker named Arliss for a while. And it's weird because it's really obvious, but because of the pitch, like the tone of the show, you're like, oh, yeah, he's the actual bad guy, even though they're making it obvious.
Yeah.
But then there's a switch, and we learn it's actually Miguel Ferrer, Eno, who is the actual bad guy.
So his motivation is supposed to be that he's upset because his institute can't get funding. He needs some senator to come to a fundraiser. He needs to raise $20 million or something in order to continue funding the research. It seems to be a big concern to him. And he's promised the Ice character, I forget her name. Tori, that she's going to be his head of research. I don't know, what weather research? After he secures the funding. Unfortunately, however, like the storytelling beats are all off because he's already gone on his rampage.
Yes.
Before the fundraising meeting.
Yes. In fact, he during the fundraiser he goes upstairs to shoot a ransom video. Yeah. I'm like, what? Why not wait till the party's over? What are you doing?
Yeah. It's still going. Well, the senator didn't show up. Maybe in a fit of pique he decided to film
so he's
one
like
of
a
his
crazy
videos.
villain that's like...
But he's already putting out... Like, he starts manipulating the weather before the fundraising meeting.
Yeah.
Demanding $20 million from... Also, it doesn't say who he's demanding $20 million from. He just broadcasts...
City.
Well, that was...
Or anyone that can give up the money, I guess.
Anybody.
Yeah.
You could just crowdfund this $20 million.
Yes.
No crowdfunding in 1997. But it's funny. He kind of... He has the capability to hijack the airwaves. Why? He just does. He sort of he has his voice changed by a computer, I suppose.
And it seems to be he seems to be like doing like a zoom overlay. Like when he's filming his video, he's not
wearing a costume, but he is
on the video it looks like he's wearing a costume.
That must have been very confusing to people watching it in the 90s. Now, of course, we just think, he's got a zoom filter on.
Yeah. Well, actually, you mentioned the storytelling beats being all off. For the first many minutes of this movie, I didn't know because we get these interviews to camera from Guy Gardner, software salesman, and Barry Allen, unemployed.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were heroes or not.
Yeah.
I was like, are they all going to get their powers and then get a job with the Justice League?
Describe them that way. Because it's meant to be about their foibles when they share a house together.
Yeah.
Like their struggle.
Yeah.
Except those are the things that are most boring about them.
Yeah.
It should be about the things that are most interesting about them.
Yes.
Not what's the Flash going to do for a job?
Yes. Also, why is he out of a job? This is why I thought, oh, he's not the Flash yet. He gets thrown over the front. I'm like, this guy surely can get a job and make money easily.
Yeah.
And then later on, we learn that the Martian Manhunter has this giant undersea base.
Yeah, why don't they just live there?
Is that his
spaceship? I assume so. Yes.
I have to assume so, because otherwise, if they have the finances to build a base, you can pay the Flash to do something.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the Martian Manhunter's ship, because it's made of some kind of alien,
so they don't have any money, I guess.
Well, why can't they just live in the base?
I agree.
And what does Martian Manhunter eat? I guess he has replicators down there.
And also, Barry does end up getting a job as a mailman, does a great job, but then he gets fired for being too good, question mark?
Well, the union forced him out.
Surely he could deliver pizzas or something. It was baffling. It was very confusing to me how the secret identities work in this world.
I mean, Fire, Michelle Hurd, she wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
Except she's crap at it.
Yeah.
Look, okay, that I get. You know, that feels like that's kind of like a comic book alter ego.
Yeah, and she was a model in the comics. She's actually probably the closest.
Yes. So her one kind of makes sense. An actor is a thing. Is like a passion.
Yeah.
That someone could realistically pursue alongside being a superhero.
Yeah.
But being a mailman or a software salesman, not so much.
Yeah.
And the Atom. So not Captain Atom. The Atom.
The Atom. He's the guy that shrinks, Ray Palmer.
Yeah. Yes. He is a science teacher.
Yeah. So this was really baffling to me because in the comics, he is a scientist who came up with this technology to shrink.
Yep.
He's a genius. He used some sort of dwarf star, blah, blah, something. What doesn't matter.
Comic book stuff, yep.
Comic book stuff. Here he's a teacher. I'm like, wait a second. Because they don't explain his origin until an hour into it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you developed this, but you're teaching at high. I'm like, okay, so did you have an affair with the founder of the company's wife, and then you were too embarrassed, and then you got cancer, so you had to go teach high school instead of being a genius scientist? I couldn't figure that out.
No, well, it turns out he's the only one that gets an origin, really, actually, aside from Tory Eyes.
That's right. And it's almost prophetic in a way. I was like, oh, this is like the James Gunn Superman movie that just came out. Because all these superheroes show up, no origins, no nothing, no secret identities. They're there flying around. We know what superheroes are. Don't explain it. Fine, great. This movie has the problem of giving them secret identities, and now we're like, how does this work?
They never do any hero stuff. It's just all about their secret identity stuff.
Yeah, well, we finally get a montage where they go out and do some superheroing. About 8 minutes in, I'm like, oh, they're already superheroes. So, like, Green Lantern uses his ring to create this rope that stops this telephone pole from falling on a guy.
Yeah, so the weatherman has made a hurricane, or is it the weatherman at this point? Well, the
wind is blowing, like, big time. Yeah.
There's a hurricane, a big hurricane, and Dr. Eno looks at it and sort of makes some sort of comments about harnessing the power of a hurricane.
Yeah.
He says, look at that, if we could harness that, I could power the United States for 6 months. 2 of them I could power the world. Okay, sure. Then the Justice League start doing some very low-grade heroics, saving 1 or 2 people.
Yes.
And best of all, the Atom saves a cat.
Yes.
Which is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
It is pretty bad. It would have worked if it had been one person doing all this stuff and saving the cat at the end, like Superman did in 1978.
Yep.
Here, it's the only thing he does during this cat. And then he barely, I don't think he saves the cat. He tries to pull its tail to get it to come out. It doesn't even come out.
It's so lame. There's a cat trapped under, it's not even up a tree, it's under a porch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's these hurricane-level winds blowing, and there's an old lady going, "Come out, kitty!"
Yeah.
And the Atom, John Kassir, he walks up in this stupid costume and says, "Stand aside, ma'am."
The costume is really bad. It's got a big Atom picture on the chest. He looks more like the Captain Atom costume, actually, the original Captain Atom costume. But it's actually slightly off center. It's a bit like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four costumes where the fours were like on their stomach or something. Yeah. It's just like slightly off. It's really driving me crazy.
Well, he absolutely then shrinks and walks under the porch and yanks the cat's tail until it walks out by itself.
Right, okay.
That's the extent of his heroics.
Yeah. By the way, when he shrinks down, it's a CGI effect in this one shot. They've actually spent some a bit of money on this effects shot to get him to collapse into this tiny form.
Yeah. It looks fine.
Flash.
He runs in the opposite direction. This is very comic. It's kind of like when Superman turned back time.
This is how, in the Flash, the recent Arrowverse Flash series, in the first or second episode, when Weather Wizard attacks and causes a twister, Flash runs around in the opposite direction. That's how he dissipates.
Great.
So, I don't know if they did this in the comics, or it's just the first thing that comes to mind.
Maybe. That's a good question. If anybody knows of a Flash comic,
it's weird. There's things in this show that feel like I just mentioned about James Gunn Superman, and it feels like there are some seeds, although nobody saw this.
Yeah.
100% none of the producers of any of that stuff saw this. There are some seeds here.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I want to mention about the Flash it's why I mentioned the John Wesley Shipp version earlier, is the suit is Lycra spandex. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
It is so awful. And I loved the suit in the Shipp version, and he was pretty buff, but they had a padded suit and everything to make him look muscular. But that was 7 years earlier.
Yeah.
Why does the suit look so bad? I guess because they had the one budget to cover all the suits, and they couldn't spend more on one than the
pilot.
others.
I mean, pilots are always a bit rubbish, aren't they? Often.
Yes.
Well, they often are.
Yes, but Shipp's suit in 1990 from I guess it was a whole series, but
once it's been greenlit, maybe they look. It's who can say?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that's wrong with this would be a problem. It's just a big problem. It's a big dumb mess. You can see why it wasn't picked up.
Yeah.
Some things though, I could file under. This is proof of concept.
Right.
They're not spending a lot of money on some elements of it.
Yeah.
Everyone looks pretty terrible, with the exception of Michelle Hurd, who looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she looks really great. But her disguise is putting some dark makeup under her eyes. She doesn't wear a mask or anything.
She doesn't wear a mask.
She kind of flips her hair to one side.
She puts some eyeshadow on. That's the extent of it. Yeah. She puts some makeup on her cheekbones.
On her cheeks, yeah.
And that's like blush?
That's it. And then after they save the city from this hurricane, they meet in an alley, and she's about to walk out with her eye makeup on. They're like, whoa, your eye makeup. But that's nothing on later in the movie. Her stalker gifts her some earrings. And then she forgets to take them off, and she goes on a mission. She's on TV, and the stalker sees her on TV, and that's how he figures out they're the same woman.
Not the fact that they look identical.
Not the fact that they have the same face.
She's not wearing a mask. She's just wearing a little extra makeup. Crazy.
It's the earrings. He's like, those earrings.
I just gave her those earrings.
I laughed, and I was like...
So silly.
They're playing weird superhero identity games, secret identity games in the show that are baffling. They haven't worked it out.
Yeah.
They didn't work out how these work. Even Guy comes in with a mask and his girlfriend.
Literally a second after he walks away. Yeah. It's the same voice. He's just wearing... He just walked away.
Yeah. And he walks back.
Do you think if I left the room and came back in wearing a mask, you would be like, who's this?
And it's like a less than a domino mask. His eyes are fully visible. And she's like, gosh, I wish you were like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he's got the same...
I wish my boyfriend was like you.
Even the Dean Cain version of Superman, Clark would have his hair down and the glasses on. Superman would have the hair slicked back and the glasses off.
He has the same hair.
Oh, okay. This guy has the same spit curl. It was
madness.
There's a kind of assumption that the audience knows what superheroes are, knows that they have secret identities and all this stuff, and we're not supposed to question it, I guess.
That's it. I mean, the idea that a superhero must have a secret identity is doing a lot of legwork here. Nowadays, it's the secret identities that need explanations now, because we don't... it's like when we read all those comics in the earlier half of the 20th century and the latter half to a lesser extent. Everything from the Phantom to Batman to Superman, to the Flash, everybody had to have a secret identity. You just didn't question it.
Yeah.
You just had to.
That's right.
And it's only later, it's only when they don't have secret identities. I think
it's like Iron Man.
Like Iron
2008 was really a key moment in that, where he just says, I'm Iron Man at the end, instead of playing that game where he's pretending to be his bodyguard for 30 years.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now, of course, we think secret identities is silly. And if someone has a secret identity, it needs to be explained.
That's right.
Whereas it was the reverse for most of comics history, I suppose.
Yeah.
So here, we're smack bang in the middle of, no. heroes just have secret identities.
Yes.
Or they're not heroes.
That's right. Yes, that's the best way to put it, yeah. Otherwise, the audience would be like, what about their secret identity?
But there's more to it, though, because their secret identities are the most important thing that's going on in this film.
Yes. Also, in the comics, Guy doesn't have a secret identity. He does not have a mask.
You're right. He doesn't. He's just called Guy Gardner. He's not called Green Lantern.
That's right.
That's right.
He's a unique case in comics at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite right. Here, Guy Gardner's big problem is that every time he's out on a date, he's really, really bummed that he can't hold down a girlfriend. Mm. It's the only thing we hear him talk about the whole film long.
Yeah.
Can't hold down a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he and Fire dated briefly.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're setting up some sort of will they, won't they thing with them. That if this had been picked up...
Oh, yeah. So they've been on 2 dates or something. Yeah.
But, he'll be out on a romantic dinner with his girlfriend, the one you mentioned with her credits and Sabrina or whatever else.
Elisa Donovan, 3 seasons on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And then they get pages. They've got pages, which is another great thing that locates it squarely in the 90s. They get pages when it's time for them to go. So the Martian Manhunter sends them pages, I assume? Because he's there...
Yeah, but Fire keeps getting pages from her stalker. How did he get her number?
So she uses the same pager for her superhero business as she does for her regular business.
At one point, the Flash gets a beep in his ear. When he's thrown out of his apartment, he gets a beep in his ear. So he does
too.
And the Martian Manhunter speaks to them through their TV.
Yeah. I never returned to your scheduled programming.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Very strange.
It's just the...
I thought it was going to be a Charlie's Angels kind of situation where he just communicates their missions over the TV and then we don't see him.
Oh, yeah, that would have been something. Maybe that would have suited David Ogden Stiers pretty well, I think, because then he wouldn't have had to get up in all that makeup all the time. But they don't show us his face for a long time. Again, because I think...
there's kind of a twist that shows up later.
I think he just straight up was like... I'm doing a day in this outfit.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, I'm going to be doing a voiceover.
Yeah.
But, so he keeps his secret identity. His identity as Green Lantern is a big problem for Guy Gardner in this film because he keeps having to go save the city when he's on dates.
Yeah.
He's really, really bummed about it.
Yes. I want to read one line from the comic to contrast.
Okay.
Guy Gardner has just beat up Oberon, the dwarf.
Yeah.
And Black Canary kicks him. She says, "You're insufferable."
That's
Gardner, you're insufferable. And Guy says, "That's the way it always works, babe. First they tell me I'm insufferable, then they beg me to take them home." That's Guy Gardner.
Yes.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this guy? It's just so strange that they've given him that name.
Yeah. Yeah. So the heroes change in the alley. This is a wild scene. It's very awkward and clumsy. They're just stuffing their superhero suits into bags, into backpacks. Yeah. We never see this in superhero movies. And I mean, I'm here for it. I think it's a good idea to have something like this, but it's something...
They haven't got the tone right.
No. They don't have the chops to shoot it right or just write the script.
It's not lighthearted enough because it's not like... They just haven't got the tone right.
And you know what? They never lampshade it by saying, "I can't believe we have to change in an alley."
Yeah.
It's just like...
This is what they do. This is business as usual.
This is normal. Like, this is a cool thing they're doing.
People get changed in alleys. Superheroes get changed. Yeah, they should have been... It should be like... I don't know. There's comics that have done this and it has done it well. Like 5-Star Squadron recently.
Yeah.
Kind of really did this well.
Yeah.
Which is... Here, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a pilot, I guess, but they just don't... They can't get it. It's just so dull.
Yes.
Because it's just... What's the thing you care about least?
Yeah.
About your superheroes? What they're... how their love life is going?
Yeah. Well, okay, so now we learn, after this alley scene, we learned that they all live in the same... So Flash has been kicked out.
Yeah.
And then we learn that Barry, the Flash, and Adam... Guy and Adam live together? Guy and Adam live together.
Yeah.
And Flash needs a place to stay. So
and Fire lives with them as well.
Fire lives with them as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so immediately I was like, okay, they want this to be friends.
Yes, that is exactly right. Exactly right, I think.
So we get, when Guy learns that they've asked Flash to stay there, he's like, oh no, you're letting Barry stay here, but he's cooked dinner and he like cleans up at super speed. By the way, this was all done in the Barry Allen Ship, or the Wesley Allen Ship version from 1990, where he eats a lot, and he runs around his apartment and cleans up at super speed, that kind of stuff.
It's a really easy thing to do with just regular camera effects,
Yes. And by the way, there's all the phones in this apartment are really weird, this house.
Yes, there's a payphone.
They have a payphone, and another one's like a shape. It has in some weird shape. I guess it was supposed to be a running gag.
Yeah, except it doesn't really land.
No, anyway. Okay, now Tori, at her meteorological institute, she's clumsy. This is established because she dropped some papers. The first scene, when she meets Miguel Ferrer, she drops her documents.
This is another entry in the clumsy person's super villain origin, except she's a superhero.
Yes.
We've seen those mashups where they're always dropping things.
They're always dropping documents.
What, Poison Ivy and...
it was Riddler from the Joel Schumacher series.
Poison Ivy as well.
And Electro from Amazing Spider-Man.
And in Wonder Woman 1984,
that's
Kristen
right,
Wiig's
the
character.
Wiig's character,
Yeah. So now we can add... we can add ice to this. This is illustrious list.
Yes. How do we know she's clumsy? Well, she's got a spilling sock. So she goes into this room, the lab at the institute, and she spills some. She finds this weird suitcase. Which she opens up, and it's got some weird technology in it, and she accidentally spills some water on it. And that jolts her
and gives her ice powers.
And gives her ice powers, which she can't control.
Okay, questions. Why does spilling water on this briefcase give you ice powers?
Well, that's like how the Flash got his powers. This lightning hit this row of chemicals that just by coincidence happened to be the right combination with the electricity to give him Flash powers. It's just a superhero origin. That's fine. My question is, turns out to be the weatherman's...
Yeah, this is the problem. This is the weatherman's weather control device.
Doesn't this ruin his plans or anything? Doesn't he notice it?
Didn't it short circuit his device?
Yeah, didn't it short circuit it? Isn't he bothered that it's sitting there open on a counter, not under the counter?
Does she put it away? She doesn't put it away.
No, she just like, holy shit, what happened to me? And she walks out of there, I think.
Right. She just picks the water back up and puts it away. Yeah, but the problem. Yeah, here it's his weather control device. We have no idea how it works.
Yeah.
How he invented it.
Yeah.
What's the mechanism?
None of that's explained. Well, he's a weather genius. By the way, in the comics, this character's Weather Wizard. Here, I will say it's clever that they renamed him Weatherman.
Yeah.
That I thought was a clever joke that deserves to be in a better movie.
Weatherman. Weatherman. It's alright. But to me, it's like, this is... It bugged me that, like, what is this? It's because he's a meteorologist, he can create a device that controls the weather. Why would this device imbue a person with ice powers when water was spilt on it? At least with the Flash, there was like lightning and chemicals.
It's a fluke because it's a freak accident. This thing can affect all sorts of weather. So it randomly zapped her. That part of it didn't bother me.
I'm glad that it didn't bother you, but it did bother me. It shitted me.
Yeah. But now stuff is freezing around her. She can't control it. Like the doorknob when she walks in her room. She walks by a lake, and like the lake freezes. This rollerblader falls into the lake and it freezes. There's a hilarious bit of ADR where he says, "Whoa, how'd that happen?"
I read that down too.
Like obviously they
put that in.
Obviously, like they had a zero reaction. There's a lot of scenes in this, like when there's weather disaster stuff happening, the crowds, the extras are all just standing there.
Yeah. They haven't got, this is a pilot, they don't have time to coach
there's no assistant director saying, okay, you guys gotta scream, look upwards in terror at the cyclone.
They haven't got time for that.
New Metro
just
City.
Just go stand over there, extras.
Yes. And they're just standing there having their coffee, not really bothering. So they had to ADR this line, like, whoa, how'd that happen? Otherwise, there was no reaction to the lake freezing.
It was amazing.
And this guy being frozen.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Then that night, the Justice League kidnap Tori out of her bed.
Yes, well, they have to fix the TV first. Which has one of the worst special effects because the atom shrinks down.
Yeah.
And is connecting these wires, and it really looks like they haven't even put him on a set with giant wires. They've just like blue screened him onto.
They're really cheaply just sort of moving his static image around on top of it.
Yeah,
it looks awful.
It's so bad.
Well, it's cheap.
And he fails to fix the TV.
He gets an electric shock, actually, because they don't unplug it.
Yeah.
And when he's back up life size, his clothes will all have...
Yeah, they're all burnt.
Burns. I actually kind of like that.
But they get the news about the wild weather, and then...
They get the repairman fix the television with chewing gum and foil.
Yes.
Which there's a callback to later on.
Yeah.
A terrible callback.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they get the announcement about the weather.
Yeah.
And
then they kidnap her.
Sorry, the frozen river, rather. And, yeah...
there's a little bit before this, because we get this bit where her boss comes to her, Miguel Ferrer, as Eno, and that's when he asks that question about, I'm worried about this weather wizard stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he leaves, then he sees himself, like a doppelganger of himself, and he hides.
Yeah, and also his hand is...
And his hand is going all green and weird and stuff. It's like, whoa, what is going on? I know these characters, these comics. It did not occur to me.
I had no idea what was happening.
For an hour, I was like, until Martian Manhunter showed up.
He says, I spoke to you at your... I'm sorry, I was pretending to be your boss earlier. And I was like, that's what happened. I was the same. Exactly. I know these characters too. And yeah, at this point, I thought, this is another problem with the storytelling elements. Because here, that happening to Eno without any context says, Eno's a bad guy.
Yes.
Or Eno's a person of interest here.
That's right.
Person of interest. He's got hand going green.
Yeah.
He's panicked about it and hiding it.
And there's another guy that looks.
And there's another Eno wandering around. All the work you've done with the bait and switch to establish that other scientist as the sinister one, it all just goes out the window now. Because Eno's wandering around with a green glowing hand.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that must be where his weather powers come from.
Yeah, but then I was like, who's the other one? I was very confused about where this plot... Is he able to make duplicates of himself? Yeah. I didn't know what was going on.
It's just signposts him as a character with the character we should be paying attention to instead of the guy that they're desperately trying to tell us is the villain. Yeah. Which is massive failure as storytelling.
Yes.
Because at this point, I'm just like, I already knew Miguel Ferrer was going to be the bad guy because I'd read the synopsis.
Yeah.
Because I'd read... Yeah. It says, Dr. Eno / Weatherman. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even so, I'm able to watch a show knowing what's going to happen and enjoy being taken along with the story. And I was just... At this point, I was like, whoa... now I know he's the baddie.
By the way, I want to mention that Martian Manhunter is in the Arrowverse Supergirl series, and they hid his identity for many episodes, and it was really well done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So go watch that instead of this, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they do it's very sinister, actually. They chloroform her, it looks like.
Yeah, so the thing is, that was Martian Manhunter, and he knows that she knows something. He knows she's got ice powers.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, team, through the TV, as Charlie from Charlie's Angels says, team, you need to go get this girl and bring her to the base. Right?
No, I think they just... No, he's not been revealed at this point.
Oh, right,
This is before that.
Right,
We just see... This is just after they've seen... The telly's just been fixed.
Yeah.
They see her... Atom's has got a crush on her.
Yeah.
He sees her and becomes infatuated with her instantly. She walks off. Then they don't know she has anything to do with the ice powers or anything.
Okay, right.
It's not clear at all. The very next scene, I think, she's in bed and then someone straight up whacks her. It looks like a mask.
Okay.
Like a breathing mask.
Yeah.
And then she's in a black, dark room tied to a chair.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
And we can hear David Ogden Stiers interrogating her. Why did you freeze the lake? How did you freeze the lake?
Yes,
why are you the weatherman?
That's right. Okay.
And she's like, I'm not the weatherman.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I've written down Martian Manhunter has manhunted her.
Yes. Yes. Okay, that's right. Yep. And then we get the job as a mailman. Then her boss talks to her at work. Then we get the green hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this whole subplot with Fire being stalked, we have to get scenes of this again and again. This, by the way, David Krumholtz he claims to be 22. He looks about 19. I looked it up. Michelle Hurd was about 30 when she made this.
She was about 30.
Holy cow, she looks great. But this is crazy that she's even entertaining this idea. He knows all sorts of stuff about her. He knows she likes walking on the beach. He knows all this data about her. She accepts the gift of the earrings from him.
You've described him as her stalker.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But the show is absolutely not playing it that way.
And in fact, we have to talk a little bit about the music. I didn't write down the guy's name, but I looked at his credits. He's done music on everything, including dozens of movies that we're going to be covering.
Right.
And movies like Venom, and
wow,
he's got music all over the place. But it is terrible comedy music.
Yeah.
So whenever we get these stalker scenes, he actually lied about being a French movie producer.
Yeah. It's all played very romantic.
Yes.
It's being very sympathetically.
Yes.
You're right. He is 100% a stalker.
Yeah.
He is extremely creepy.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Who knows stuff about her, is lying, is following her around all the time, and seems to be 12, 13 years younger than her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta kick this guy to the curb. What is going on?
But she's into it. I mean, the age difference is the only thing that's bothering her.
She's kind of a little bit like, okay, this is not okay. Stop talking about it. But when he says stuff that's like, I know you like Walks of Heat, she is impressed by this instead of being spooked,
creeped out.
Yeah.
No, she's swooning. If it weren't the age difference is the only problem she has with it. Like he says he's 21.
Right. That's right.
And she's late 20s, I suppose, almost 30. Not a huge age difference, but to her it's a deal breaker. But all this other stuff doesn't bother her. Yeah. In fact, she's really touched by his constant creeping.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the music is part of that too, because
as he's
what's going on?
Yeah, it's really.
Why haven't you just told him to fuck off?
Yeah.
Why haven't you set him on fire? I mean, you can.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Well, she has a secret identity. You know, she can just light him on fire. By the way, at some point here, Tori tells us that she did her thesis in weather manipulation.
That's not a thing.
Amazing. Really amazing.
So good.
Yeah. Okay, there's more weather threats from the weatherman. Yeah. He actually causes a hailstorm.
Yes.
Which Guy.
This is the point where he abandons his girlfriend and comes
back with an umbrella.
Straight back with 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
Generating an umbrella with his ring and looking exact. There's no way that she would be fooled for this.
Yeah.
By this. It's not like he came back days later in costume. He literally just walked off and then came straight back. Yeah. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. Guy and
I wrote, is this woman blind and deaf?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Colin.
So strange. Guy and BB, they tend to clash. As you mentioned earlier, we learned that they had dated a couple of times. Now, these are interview segments to camera, these interstices. They get a bit weird. There's one where
I think they may be
Guy and Flash and BB are crammed together, and she's in the middle.
Yep.
And they're so close together to fit the 4:3 frame. Why can't you just sit them in chairs like for the single-person interviews?
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough chairs.
Weird, the way they're crammed around her.
Maybe the chairs would have spread them out too much in 4:3. They needed to be standing so that they could all be in shot.
Yeah.
But it is really odd. And in fact, whenever there's more than one person in one of these interviews, they're always standing.
Yes, that's right.
Because they only had one chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of what they say is really silly. I almost wondered if they were doing ad-lib.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Because the one that I think Tori and the Atom become an item later on. It's implied that they've since become an item, although they don't become an item in the...
Oh, yeah.
Because they talk about how they like to play pranks.
Right.
She said that he shrinks and then she encases him in an ice cube and drops him in someone's drink, and then he bursts out of the drink.
Yeah. But then she keeps talking about him being a nice guy, and he's constantly depressed by that.
She says nice is sexy too.
As if she still thinks of him as just a nice guy.
But she says, I hear what you're saying, but she specifically also says that nice is sexy. And he makes her repeat it to camera.
Yeah, right.
It makes me think, like I'm watching this thinking, does someone wrote this?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since they go back to it like 2-3 times. It's a real question.
I don't know, would someone have been loose enough in the late 90s to do Judd Apatow style improv?
Yeah, I don't know.
In your TV pilot?
I feel like the answer is no.
No, I think the answer is no. I think they wrote this.
But then there are bits, some of these interviews seem like they're just cut off at the end, like they ran out of things to say, cut.
If anyone worked on this, please write in.
Yeah, so we go to the fundraiser at the Institute. The team all goes there. I don't remember why they...
There's some I forget why. I think they just decide because there's meteorological connection that they should all go?
Okay.
Or is it because Tori works there?
Yeah.
I think I zoned out and couldn't figure out why they were there. But they all go, and then there's some hijinks where they need to sneak in.
Yeah. My favorite bit was when the Atom is trying to get into this computer room, but there's a laser barrier at foot level, so he shrinks down to Atom size to walk under it. He limbos under it. Instead of stepping over it at human size.
No, there was... I hate to... Is it even...
Explain it to me, Jordan.
There is... The lasers go all the way up the doorway.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we know that because he's got this bizarre camera pen.
Oh, okay.
It's so strange. I can only conclude that the director said, you need a prop for this scene. Take this pen. And he's holding the pen around like it's a camera. And we see the pen's view of things.
Yeah, right. Okay.
With a blue filter.
Okay.
I watch this, thinking, what is this pen? What's it supposed to be? Then he takes the pen to the door, and I'm thinking, is this what the pen does? Because he shines it on the door and it's revealed.
Yeah,
you know, like how you smoke a cigarette and you blow on the laser trip bars? Well, instead of smoking a cigarette, he's holding a pen, and the pen reveals it.
I think it has multiple powers. I think it's a sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it reveals that they're all across, so he has to shrink.
Yes.
In order to reveal it. And then, but why? He limbos under it.
Yes.
Isn't that needlessly endangering you in this situation?
Yeah.
But it's meant to be funny.
It's comedy beat.
Yep.
It's supposed to be. Okay.
He
Guy's girlfriend is also at this fundraiser.
Yep.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know
either.
if that's been established at any stage that she works in the weather industry.
And she has a new boyfriend already, despite them breaking up earlier that day.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tori has to pretend to, or not Tori, Fire pretends to be his date just to save him embarrassment by her choice.
Yep.
She decides to save him when she
save
sees
him
that
some
he's
embarrassment.
about to be embarrassed.
Yeah, just setting up the will they won't they, I imagine. Meanwhile, the Atom hacks the computer, finds the specifications for the weather control device, which Dr. Eno just leaves lying around on a computer in his office.
Yes. By the way, Tori at this point says something about how she went on a date and the guy, something about freezing a guy on a date.
She kissed him on the lips, and their lips stuck together.
When did that happen?
They haven't had time to do that. It's the next day, I'm pretty sure.
Why is she going on a date? Why didn't she go to a doctor? Again, James Gunn Superman doesn't matter. All that stuff's left out. But here, you're trying to give this person an origin story. And this person didn't go to a doctor when she started developing these ice powers. Okay, you're too embarrassed to go to a doctor, maybe? Why are you going on a date when you know this is happening? Stay home for a day.
When she didn't have time, though, either.
Exactly.
It hasn't been weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's implied that this happened the very next day.
Yeah.
You haven't had time.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Yeah. Okay, so she, as I think you were getting to, she walks in on Eno, who's recording this video at the fundraiser.
Because he doesn't have access to a camcorder or a stationary... so he's using a Steadicam.
Yeah.
I can only assume one of the Steadicams that they're actually using to shoot the TV movie.
Yes.
They've given Miguel Ferrer the Steadicam. He's got it around his chest and waist, and he's got it in front of him, and he's filming himself with the Steadicam. Yep. It's so nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy.
I guess it makes it look kind of science fiction-y, the way they, like James Cameron's Aliens, maybe, where they use Steadicam mounts for the smart guns. Except it's just obviously...
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, it's bizarre. Well, that's
bizarre.
the least weird thing that happens in the scene, because he sees her looking at him. He knows he's been discovered. She runs out.
Yep, he chases her.
The next day, I think it's the next day, she comes to visit Ray at his house.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is the head of this company. He knows where she lives. Mm-hmm. He knows that she knows that he is the weatherman. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he go threaten her at her house?
Well, he does.
After.
Yeah, but after.
First thing.
Well,
Why didn't he chase her down the stairs?
Well, she froze the door.
Oh, she froze the door. Okay. But was he there all night then, maybe?
I assume he went... I assume he just went into hiding.
Okay.
Because he knew he was rumbled, so...
If it was me, I would be trying to, first thing, track that girl down, silence her.
I hear what you're saying, but it made a certain amount of sense, because maybe he assumed that she would call the cops. Okay. But instead of calling the cops, which would have been the smart thing to do, she went to the random guy's house.
How did she know where he lived?
Yeah, how does she know where he lived?
Okay.
It says she looked him up.
Oh.
And she says, there aren't that many science teachers called Ray Palmer. I'm like, really?
Ray, how did she... Does it say teacher in the phone book when you look up Ray
exactly.
Palmer?
She didn't Google him. There's no Google in 97.
Very strange.
So she shows up at their house and she tells them that Dr. Eno is the weatherman, and she's got the proof that he has a weather control device. She's got a printout of it. And then they blindfold her and take her down via an elevator.
Yep. A sea elevator.
They go to this abandoned building, they take an elevator, and then the next thing, they're in it's a submarine, basically.
Yeah.
Or like a spaceship at the bottom, on the ocean floor. This wasn't a teleporting elevator. It's not like a TARDIS. They didn't get in it and then were teleported. It's just a regular elevator.
Yes, but also people come and go with ease. Sometimes, I'm going to go up there. I got to go to that school or whatever. Because this happens where Fire gets into trouble about her secret identity with Stalker, and Martian Manhunter has to go up there and impersonate her. He just goes.
He goes.
It's like a minute later.
It takes him a minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Just make it a teleporter.
Yeah.
Just make it a teleporter. Why didn't they make it a teleporter? It practically is a teleporter in everything except fact.
Yes. Yes.
God, it's so infuriating.
Yep.
Now we finally meet John Jones.
Yes.
Who he just introduces himself as John Jones.
Yep. Which is confusing in any live action version.
Yep.
In the comic it's spelled J''ONN, J''O. Z, yeah. And it's like, it's some weird alien name.
Yeah. But if you hear happens to be pronounced John Jones.
John Jones.
But if a like a green alien introduced himself as John Jones, you think what
yeah.
Is this a bit?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
They desperate, as we mentioned, they desperately try and shoot David Ogden Stiers from the front as much as possible, or from the shoulders up as much as possible. But there's only so much they can do, and every now and again we can see the superhero leader of this superhero team has a whopping tummy.
Interesting casting choice. I wonder why they went with him instead of just somebody else that was... It could have been anybody. Well, I don't think his name really added that much prestige to this, that they were going to sell the pilot.
I don't know. I don't know. He was just there. I think they wanted... He's meant to be a father figure.
Right.
In fact, they even say that.
Yes,
He is a father figure.
Yeah.
He found them all, trained them all. His backstory here is that he is not a Martian. His backstory is that he came from another planet.
Right.
Where they had no freedom of speech.
Right.
And he came to Earth because Earth does have freedom of speech, and he wants to protect freedom of speech.
Really?
With superheroes.
Okay, Justice League of America is the right titling, because I don't know any other country that actually has written in the Constitution freedom of speech.
No, plenty of countries have freedom of speech, but they don't usually have it in the Constitution.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So he's I guess casting him here, he's not going to do any superheroics.
That's right.
He's more of your...
In fact, he doesn't even need to show up past the pilot
he's
episode.
like
you can do it, Charlie.
Yeah.
After the first episode, because you know who this guy is.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe David Ogden Stiers was just going to do voiceovers.
Yeah.
For the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Because as we mentioned, you seldomly see him, but we hear him quite a bit.
Yeah.
In ADR.
Yeah. Yeah. So they try to train Ice Tori in her powers a little bit, but she's struggling. She can't really do it.
No. There's a great when they're trying to convince her to join, I think, or that she needs to become a superhero and embrace this because she just wants to run away from it. John Jones says, "Oh, that life is gone." He says, "You can't go back to the way you were. You can either embrace your powers or run from them forever." Okay, she says. Then later on, the Atom has a great conversation where he reveals his superhero origin, which is amazing. Quote, "I found a glowing rock in the desert."
Yeah. Yes.
My Geiger counter went off the charts. Yeah. I knew I probably shouldn't touch it, but I did.
Yes. Wait a second. He's a high school science teacher. Why was he in the desert? Did they explain?
He said for his dissertation, possibly his PhD dissertation.
Okay.
So I guess science teacher was the only job I could get after he picked up a radioactive rock.
Yeah, there's also a hilarious bit after where they show him that night, and the powers are opening, and he screams, and it's the weakest scream, like, ah!
Yeah.
No second take on this one.
No.
And this guy can do voices. It's very weird.
Yeah, you're right. That was the best voice he could do. He couldn't give us a good old Crypt Keeper scream. I hope you know, he picked up this glowing rock after his Geiger counter went off the charts. Then he said, "Nothing happened for a day or two." It's like, I bet nothing happened for a day or two. Yeah. Just like in When the Wind Blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he got superpowers instead of dying horribly.
Yes. But while all this important stuff is happening, David Krumholtz figures out, because he saw the earrings on the news, that fire... So he pages her, and she leaves the superhero base and goes to meet this guy, her stalker, and he's like, "I know you're Fire. I know your secret identity." And she's like, "You got it wrong." She secretly contacts Martian Manhunter.
She opens her makeup compact, which is now a phone.
Yeah.
Why aren't you using that to communicate when it's time to go on a superhero
By the
mission?
way, they have little disc communicators in Justice League the comic.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Martian Manhunter comes up. He shows up as Fire, and this is the best superhero identity cover there is. Just have another one show up.
Yep, just like Crypto in your cape.
Yes. Or a Superman robot show up. This is as good as it gets. Fine. I was like, cool. But then he shoots fire. He sets a chair on fire. So does he also have her powers?
Explain it to me, Jordan. I think fire sets that fire.
Oh, so they just timed it really perfectly?
They're just doing a bit of...
They've got a
protocol. It's not the first time this...
It's a protocol,
because she looks exactly like Fire, it's not the first time Martian Manhunter had to do this for her.
This all the time. But at the end, when the base is on fire, Martian Manhunter says, "Don't worry about it. Our people, heat is the one thing we can handle more than anyone else."
300 degrees is a day at the beach, he says.
Yeah. So that's the opposite of the comics.
Where his fire is his weakness.
Yeah.
So he's not a Martian here.
No.
In fact, I don't think they call him the Manhunter. I think he's just called John Jones, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Weird. I wonder, actually, they were called Guy... No, they must call him Green Lantern.
They do call him Green Lantern, yeah.
It's one of those... If this was made in 2025, I would say they were embarrassed about the superhero name. So they didn't want to call him Martian Manhunter. Yeah.
Well, yeah. They just don't... They wanted to give him a new... That character, they wanted to give him a new role. I mean, they all had...
Yes, right.
The role was going to be the Charlie, or like the Charlie's Angels.
Yes. But he's the leader of the Justice League in most incarnations.
Yeah, he is in here, for example. When Batman leaves, he takes over.
Yeah.
But they want him to have a less active role. He's the leader, but he's going to be like that floating blue head in Power Rangers or what have you. The guy that doesn't go out on missions.
Yes.
He stays and directs.
Yes. Okay, so now finally Eno comes to Tori's house. He tries to actually recruit her into his evil scheme.
Yep, but she's not going for it.
Yes.
And she steals the weather control device.
Yeah.
She freezes him with her powers. She can only activate them when she's panicking at this point. Or they're unconscious. And then she freezes him and he becomes very cold and sort of shivers in some great acting. And then she steals the weather device, right?
Yeah.
How does he get the weather device back? I've forgotten.
Well, it's a fake. It's a tracking device.
That's right.
That she takes into the base, and somehow a laser comes out of the sky and goes down into the bay, to the bottom of the bay, and hits the Justice League base.
So many problems here.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, Dr. Eno, at this point, does not know that Tori is working with the Justice League.
That's right.
So he has no reason to give her a tracking device and encourage her to steal it.
Yep.
That's problem number one.
Yep.
Then she goes to the base. Then he makes an announcement as the weatherman. I've had enough. You guys didn't pay me. I'm going to destroy New Metro or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's called New Metro.
And also the Justice League can't help you. And she says, "How can that be? We've got his weather device here." And then John Jones says, "It's a tracking device." It's like, well, how do you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know it's a tracking device? It doesn't say tracking device
magic
on
Martian powers.
I guess he's just figured it out using common sense. Because the next thing that happens is, as you pointed out, a laser comes from nowhere,
out of the sky, from up in the sky somewhere, comes down into the bay.
I thought, so is this briefcase then controlling a satellite? There's a satellite in Justice League International that affects the weather.
Yeah.
It actually causes a tidal wave.
Yeah.
But we never see this satellite, and it's never stated
so
there is a satellite.
He's up in a tower with his actual suitcase.
Yes.
Maybe we're supposed to believe that the laser is coming from that tower, that he's shooting it from the suitcase.
Maybe.
But the angle they've shot it at looks like it's coming from orbit.
It's 100% coming. Look, yeah. Also, a laser is not going to go through hundreds of meters of water and hit a spaceship at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
They didn't say it's a laser. It's a energy beam. It could be anything.
It better be a fucking neutrino beam.
Yeah.
I don't know how else it's going through hundreds of meters of seawater.
Well, neutrino beam would just go straight through the ship as well, at the other side of the Earth, and on into infinity.
Without hitting anything, yeah. That's what I mean.
You wouldn't know, and you wouldn't be able to see it or know it was
also,
there.
this is a heat... we know that this is a heat beam because we know it because it raises the temperature of the hull.
Yes.
The impenetrable hull, incidentally. So how is it heating up the hull when the hull is surrounded by seawater?
It's a death ray.
Yeah, okay.
It is a death ray. So the heroes have to...
You have a weather control device.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have caused an earthquake? Oh, that's a different kind of phenomenon, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Couldn't you have made a storm? Like a big...
Well, he does cause a tidal... Oh, no. Yes, that's right. You could have caused an underwater phenomena that could have affected it.
He does need to take his... They say that he needs to take his weather control briefcase to where there's a satellite dish. I don't think he needed a satellite dish before, so maybe you're right and there's a connection between the satellite dish and the ray. But so your weather control device has two functions?
Yes.
It makes heat rays and controls the weather?
Absolutely. It's a magic machine.
And don't forget it gives you ice powers too if you spill water on it.
If you short circuit it. The right way. Exactly the right way.
Wow.
So the heroes have to go stop all this stuff that's happening in the city. Green Lantern is going to go confront Dr. Eno directly at the tower.
Yep.
Everybody else is going to do their...
Oh, first they fix the elevator with chewing gum and foil.
Yes, that's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when that happened?
Yep. Green Lantern kind of makes this little propeller to fly. And we get a scene here where Fire's flying around with Adam on her shoulder, and it looks so bad.
Yep.
So bad. She's really just leaning over, and they've just shot her from the waist up. So the actor's just leaning forward.
Yep.
And they've blue screened some clouds behind her. Or
it's terrible.
Yeah. Flash just helps a bunch of kids to evacuate. And Ice can't control her powers yet, but she manages to freeze the tidal wave that's coming in. At one stage here, up on the tower, Miguel Ferrer throws away his weather machine, and Green Lantern's like, he was going to use the machine to stop it, but now that it's landed in the bushes, they're doomed. He can't go down and pick the thing up, or just go look for it, or it's so strange.
I assume it's destroyed.
I think so, but we should have had a little sound effect in there of smashing.
Can't afford sound effects.
Yeah.
Or a shot of it smashing.
Yeah.
They might need to use that prop again. Or at least they hope they were going to use that prop again, because the weatherman escapes at the end of the episode.
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the film.
Yeah.
But as you say, he destroys it after being threatened with a chainsaw.
Yeah, a Green Lantern. Light chainsaw. Hard light chainsaw.
Yeah. But then at the critical moment, Tori masters her powers and freezes the tidal wave.
Yeah.
So she's got a pretty powerful super ability there. It can freeze an entire tidal wave.
Very much so.
There's a lot of kinetic energy in a tidal wave.
Yep.
Where did it all go?
Yep.
It's fine.
So the next day, I guess it's the next day, Tori, I guess they sent her away or something, and they show up at her house, and they want her to join the team, but she's like, don't come in, because she's angry at them because they sent her away or something.
Except we didn't see that part.
No. We didn't get to see the aftermath.
So he sneaks into her house under the door.
Yeah, and then he opens the door for the rest of the team to come in. Very rude.
Yeah, that's a little bit... That's kind of a home invasion.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
Because they already kidnapped her from her bed.
That's right. And they have brought her a costume.
Yep.
And they see the Martian Manhunter through a projection on Guy's ring.
Yep.
Why did you need to fix your TV to get the phone call from him before?
Yep. Why do you use pages when you've got the ring and you've got the makeup compact phone?
Yes, and Flash has got the inner ear thing.
Yep.
So
uneven.
Yep. Don't quite know what the deal is.
Well, it's a big mess. It's a pilot.
Yes, and then Yeah, so then our bad guy escapes while he's been taken away, and Tori is sworn into the Justice League.
Yeah, they have an oath and everything, but we don't hear the oath because I guess they didn't get to writing it. So it's all all silent. They've just got loud music playing while she's taking the oath.
And then we get a hero shot of the team coming up
in their ridiculous costumes,
walking up an alley towards the camera. We see ice in her costume.
We see her in a costume for about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The end.
The end. Yeah.
In
fact, the upload doesn't even have credits. Yeah. If you want to know who did the sound, etc., you got to go to IMDb. Hopefully, it's on there. Okay. Do we know anything about this movie?
Nothing at all. There's nothing. I've already got just talking about the director and the actors. That's the extent of our trivia today.
Yeah.
So we'll just start talking about it. Like you said, this is about 50% Friends, 50% MTV's The Real World. I think. They're definitely going for this kind of Friends-style sitcom shtick.
Yeah.
With the kind of bickering and worrying about love lives and things like that. And on the other hand, they've gone for the housemates thrown together, people with different interests, like in the style of MTV's The Real World, and with these talking head interviews that they splice into continuity to make it seem like it's happening contemporaneously.
I thought about Friends a lot while I was watching this, because I was thinking how all of those actors were jobbers at the time on Friends. None of them were famous actors.
No, I think Courtney Cox had the highest profile of the lot, because she'd been in some 80s movies.
That's right, and she'd been on Family Ties. And I'd seen all those actors in stuff.
Yeah.
Matt LeBlanc was in those Alanis videos, or one of them at least. And
right.
I'd seen them all in bits and pieces. I think Phoebe was the one that I'd never seen. There were a couple of them. But, take away the laugh track, and, I guess the first season was funny. Chandler was really funny, sarcastic and funny those first couple of years. But maybe... I was trying to figure out why that was working, even in a limited sense, when this wasn't working. And I think the writing is just really bad.
Yes. Well, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
It can't make up its mind what it wants to do.
Yes.
Look, superheroes, love lives and things like that, I said, this is the least interesting thing about them. That was probably a bit uncharitable, because that, as we've discussed in earlier episodes, was kind of like Stan Lee's great contribution to comic book writing. The idea that superheroes could have problems that had nothing to do with their superpowers. Like families could bicker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man could struggle to hold down his photography job or what have you. And that's something that makes them interesting and relatable as characters. However, the stuff that we're seeing here does not make them interesting and relatable as characters. The Flash delivering papers too quickly is not it's not an interesting thing, and it's clearly just meant to be played for laughs.
Yeah.
It doesn't work as Friends. Does it work as a Modern Family style mock-up of the MTV's? That can work. It doesn't work here because the jokes are badly written, and because they're going for too much of a serious real world kind of tone. I know this works for a fact because Robot Chicken has done it over and over and over.
Right.
In one of the early seasons of Robot Chicken, I'll post it on the subreddit, they literally have a sketch called The Real World Metropolis.
Right.
Where you've got the Hulk, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman and Aquaman all living in an MTV's The Real World house and doing these interviews.
Yeah.
And Catwoman.
Yeah.
I'll post it. Then they keep doing it later on, although it doesn't have that deliberate framing device of it being literally the real world. But they're all living in the Justice League headquarters, and stuff like this is happening, all the time. Superman's they pull the fire alarm one time so that Batman will have to run around the Justice League naked. And Superman puts the janitor in a Batman costume and says, one guy without powers in a Bat costume is the same as another, right? It's very funny.
Yeah.
This can be a very funny format. It's worked brilliantly for Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
They return to it over and over. It's not funny here.
Yeah. And even in comics, you mentioned One Star Squadron, the Mark Russell series.
Right, One Star Squadron.
Yeah, that kind of hit the same thing about, how do we make money doing this kind of stuff. The real practical side of superheroes. Yeah.
It's clever because we're seeing something we haven't seen before with that book. Here we're not seeing something we haven't seen before. We're seeing... I don't know what we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's dull.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that the actors don't really have any charisma. And they're very interchangeable too. We've got 3 white guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you notice when I was trying to describe that apartment scene or the house scene, could not keep them straight.
Yeah. I mean, John Kassir is wearing a bow tie.
Yes.
And glasses.
He's supposed to be the nerdy
because he's the nerd. The other two guys, just late, like 90s, they look like the Matt LeBlanc hairstyle.
Yeah.
90s guys.
Yeah.
Tori is white. Our only person of color is Michelle Hurd. It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
They maybe, if it had got picked up, they would have done some recasting. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that we just covered the movie rating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big name.
Yeah. It's really awful, but there's a lot to talk about, really, when you dig into it. Okay, so how are you going to rate the comics?
I like the comics.
Good.
Yeah.
You sounded a bit reluctant last week when I handed the book over to you.
Yeah, well, I thought, first of all, I thought it was going to be a 90s era comic.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it came out in 1987.
Right.
I was very leery of mainstream comics in the 90s. Because they tend to be very extreme.
Yeah.
And full of badly drawn feet.
Yeah.
And pouches.
Yeah. I'm sure it might have been like that by the time 1996 rolled around.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah. But no, I really liked this book, yeah.
Good. Yeah, no, I've read these many times. I quite enjoy them.
They're cool.
I think Keith Giffen left at around issue 12, though, or somewhere around there. It was not Keith Giffen, Kevin Maguire. So the art kind of dropped off. Bart Sears came on later on. He had this really overly muscular style. It was actually pretty good for the series as well. But yeah, definitely great series, and pretty easily available too. Adaptation.
Look, yeah, it's tried.
It has tried, but it's a nay.
But it's a nay because it hasn't worked.
No.
It's two things, the friends and the real world,
it's
awkwardly slapped together.
The comic is right there. There's your superhero sitcom in the comic. And somehow...
I can see that somebody has read this and pitched it to someone.
There's a couple of Star Trek jokes in the comic. And there's a line in the movie when Tori meets Martian Manhunter the first time. He says, on the first day you meet, she said, I met Leonard Nimoy
Yeah,
once.
that was a good line.
And I was like, did somebody read the comic and put that in there, or...
I don't know, but you couldn't make Justice League International as a TV show in the 90s.
No, of course.
So someone has come up with a great idea, which Robot Chicken saw this TV pilot and thought, holy shit, I can do this way better.
Yeah.
Someone had a good idea.
Yeah.
Superheroes living in a house together.
Yeah.
But it needed to be about them as superheroes.
Yeah.
It needed to be about their powers doing crazy things.
Yeah.
It needed to be about fighting over who was going to be the leader. Like, it needed to be Batman punching out a guy who, if he's wearing his power ring, could have taken him apart. It needed to be about wacky hijinks, not, I can't hold on to a girl because my pager goes off and I have to go put my ring on.
Yeah.
Like, they hate being superheroes almost.
Yeah.
Because it's those first scenes especially, like, oh shit, I gotta get someone to teach my class. Oh crap.
Yeah.
I can't do this audition where I'm dressed as a giant banana because I've got to go and be a superhero. Yeah. Being a superhero should be the most important thing that's happening.
You know what? It's interesting how close the James Gunn Superman movie is to these comics whenever the Justice League shows up in them. In tone and even the effects level, which we could not do on TV in 97, really captures the spirit of these comics. I think all of these guys are thanked in the special thanks at the end of it.
Great. So Justice League America, bad adaptation of Justice League International.
Yeah.
James Gunn, Superman 2025, good adaptation of Justice League International.
Yes, absolutely.
You heard it here.
Yeah. Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe. Please contact us through the email address in our show notes, or you can send us a DM on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, comment on YouTube videos, or join our Reddit. You don't even have to join. You can just post stuff on there.
Please do.
It's started to turn into the Facebook, actually, where I just get one like on every post. That's why I dropped the Instagram, so please get on there.
Please get on
I want to
Reddit.
stick to one of these at least. I've given up 2 of them. And please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion. That's all one word, to help us with things like hosting fees for these very long episodes and things like that. And books and DVDs and all that sort of stuff. Okay, next episode, we will be covering Diary of a Teenage Girl from 2015, based on the book by Phoebe Gluckner. The book is about 250 pages. It's about 50 pages of comics, 20 pages of illustrations, and the rest of it is prose text. So I'll be interested to hear if people think it's a cheat if we're doing it.
Yeah.
And the movie is, I don't know how big it was, but it's got Alexander Skarsgård and Kristen Wiig in it, so it's kind of a big deal, I think. And the reviews are good. I think we owe ourselves a win, and I think this is going to be it.
Good.